Now, today we're going to be talking about Kuroko and the idea of another season, had they done one. The series ended with the Kuroko movie, The Last Game, in 2017, and we see a lot of things happen to end off the story. If Kuroko had another season, there's a lot of new possibilities and outcomes that can be theorized on the series. Kuroko was such an exciting and fun sports anime that it really does suck that we never got to see any of the students play past their first year. We had seen many flashbacks in the series and would have been great to see them throughout the rest of their years, and if they could have had a time skip that showcased if they could actually play in the NBA or not. The show was ended after the students' first year of high school, with Seirin winning the championship, defeating Akashi and Rakuzan, then going on to defeat Vorpal Swords, then going on to defeat Jabberwocks, a team from America with all the Generation of Miracles, and Kagami and Kuroko together. Just what could we have possibly seen if Kuroko had another season? Well, first, everyone would be in their second year of high school. Their bodies would have grown a bit more, allowing them to develop their skills even more. The biggest problem with the Generation of Miracles was that their talent was so high that their bodies were unable to keep up with their skill. Now in year 2, their bodies will be even more developed to handle their skills. The biggest part of another season is at the end of the movie, Kagami moves back to America to increase his chances of playing in the NBA. In another season, we could have gotten to see what Kagami was doing in America and if he struggled or not. I personally think Kagami doesn't do well without Kuroko at his side and instead decides to return to Japan to once again play with Kuroko. He does have dreams of playing in the NBA and I think he could do that, but I would just want him to return once again, but it's probably unlikely either way. He got put into a really great team in America, and after going against the Jabberwock team, he knows how strong teams in America are, and he can not only focus on Japanese players as the talent gap is too big. Playing in America again will give Kagami the development he needs to become the best in the world. He has already defeated the Generation of Miracles, so there's no point anymore to have to go through that test. He was able to enter zone before and even unlock a new type of zone with Kuroko, and he won the Winter Cup Finals. No Kagami on Seirin is a huge blow, and it makes you think who his team is in America. Kagami was special towards the end of the series and was a huge force in defeating the Generation of Miracles. If Kagami stays in America, then does anyone else think about going as well? Maybe Aomine. He did talk about it once before as well. Kagami did what he needed to do and it will all work out for him as he wanted to go to America where the best basketball players in the world are at. Makes you think what could have been had he stayed though. In year 2, just how good will Akashi be? In his last game, he was able to merge his Emperor personality back with himself and complete his Emperor Eye. His achievement puts him as probably the best player in Japan once again, especially with Kagami leaving for the States. He was able to completely take over the team of Vorpal Swords and was a captain for a reason. He plays on Rakuzan and most of his teammates will be coming back as third years, giving Akashi full reign still as their captain. With a complete Emperor Eye, I don't see how he could lose to anyone, and even before, he only lost due to combined effort of Kuroko and Kagami. I think this second year for Akashi is a big jump as he reverted back to his old self, becoming better with his teammates, which would only make him an even better player, and he can now win it all for his team and give Rakuzan victory. I do see Kise and Kuroko being the ones to give Akashi the most trouble due to their playstyles, but ultimately Akashi will prevail, being the one who is crowned king. Akashi is one of my favorite characters ever, and this guy was just different. I can't see how he loses honestly. If he lost in his second year, it has to be because of his teammates and not him. He was unstoppable towards the end of the Vorpal Swords game and had everything in his power. The Emperor will definitely strike once again and win the championship. Kise might be one of the most controversial characters in Kuroko for his potential. He could very well be the best Generation of Miracles, and I'm not even kidding. During the Vorpal Swords game, Kise was able to manage zone and fully copy all of the Generation of Miracles skills in that time frame. However though, in doing this, he was only able to do it for 5 minutes and could not play for the rest of the game. His ability is so taxing on his body that it would be hard to maintain that type of playstyle. I think in year 2 we see a bigger boost from Kise and he's able to utilize his copy skills to a more effective state. Kise would no longer be playing with his captain Yukio, so I wonder just how he would be able to command the team and respond now without the most vocal leader they had. I can see Kise stepping up more as a leader and taking things a lot more serious now from it. He was considered the weakest Generation of Miracles at one point, but has now solidified himself even more, being able to go toe to toe with Aomine and stay in the zone and completely crush everyone on the Jabberwocks. I'm not sure how far Kise's team could go in terms of winning, but it could be decent to make a good run. Kise will still need to have a better team around him if he wants to compete with the other giant schools that will always enter competition. For Kuroko, this is an interesting one because he will be playing on Seirin without Kagami. Kuroko was Kagami's shadow and he's involved a lot in the team and was a big reason they won most of their games. However, without a huge light like Kagami on his team, who could ever replace that role big enough for Kuroko's shadow to darken? Maybe in a new season they would bring in a completely new player that could rival the Generation of Miracles, allowing Kuroko to be a great shadow once again. Or as I mentioned earlier, Kagami could also come back, teaming up with his duo as well, allowing Seirin to be great again. So many different options for Kuroko, and another big thing is that maybe Kuroko finally takes on the spotlight role and learns to play for himself. Either way, I'm sure Kuroko will still be great whatever he decides to do. The thing with Seirin now is losing Kagami is so huge that everyone else will have to step up. You have Kiyoshi Teppei who retired and then still have the captain Hyuga to take the reins and also up and coming player Shinji to help out. Kuroko will no doubt be great, but who could possibly be the ace of this team? Without one, there's no way Seirin could ever get back to the finals to be able to win. Year 2 might be a struggle for them to bounce back, and this could lead to the first downfall of Seirin again, as they might start off slow to then get hot as the season continues later on. For Midorima, there's no doubt this team would also remain strong and in high contention in Year 2. Midorima plays for Shutoku, which is one of the 3 kings of Tokyo. Towards the end of the game for Vorpal Swords, Midorima and Akashi had a great duo, in which Akashi was able to give Midorima the ball, while Midorima was in a shooting form immediately. In Year 2, I can see Midorima doing very well. He works very hard and continues to train, and he's on a good team. I don't know how far his ceiling could be, but still, he's a great player and we can see more of a jump. He can shoot from anywhere, so opposing teams really have a hard time defending someone like him anyway. It would take a lot from him, and I can only see him losing to someone like Akashi or Aomine. For Aomine, I think he takes a huge leap as well. He started to regain his passion for basketball, and seeing just how great it made Kuroko and what he could do in the zone. Finding the second door to the zone allows us to see how passionate Aomine really is for basketball, and he starts to really enjoy it. After finally losing, he realized how fun basketball is again, and how great he can become if he works hard. Going up against the Jabberwocks, Aomine also had a tough challenge going against Silver and was able to notice more of American basketball. He even said he wants to go to America as well when he heard Kagami was going. In Year 2, I could easily see him becoming an amazing player and going all the way to the finals to play Akashi and Rakuzan. His team was excellent as well, with great players around him and a smart captain leading the team. He also has Momoi with him, who is great for analytical insight and seeing other players' weaknesses and strengths. For Murasakibara, it's hard with him, but I think his leap might actually be the best out of everyone. We all know everyone's skills and talents, but it felt like Murasakibara and Aomine were the ones who worked the least due to their insane talent. Murasakibara finally experienced fun for the first time in a while in the Vorpal Swords match, as he felt like he couldn't play his hardest because he would always crush his opponents. He was able to go all out this time against a better opponent in Jason Silver and go all out, truly having fun playing. I think now he can try to have fun, and in Year 2 the competition will be greater, allowing him to experience more. The Generation of Miracles were all too special in their own right, and they need better competition to do so. Unless Americans came to Japan or something, it wouldn't be fair, so maybe they did more of an overseas style tournament, allowing them to face off against better opponents. Similar to like how in Blue Lock currently they have the Neo Egoist League, where Japan is facing off against some of the best countries in the world. That brings us now to the final question, and it is who would win in the second year. With Kagami now in America, Kuroko has lost his duo, and Seirin was already the champions of before. In the second year, I think no doubt it would be Akashi. He has a complete Emperor Eye, and his original personality is back as a special point guard. I don't see how he could lose in this sense unless another player with the same eyes could counter him. Other than that, I see him taking the spot. I really wish we could have gotten another season of Kuroko. This series was so good, it's unbelievable. Only seeing the potential of the Generation of Miracles in their first year really didn't show us enough. I wish we could have gone at least another time skip showing us if any of them can play in the NBA. We could have gone farther after the movie showcasing their battle against harder opponents. Kagami realized how great it was to go against Americans and wanted to realize his dream of playing in the NBA. To do that, he needed to leave once again and head over to America to realize that dream. He wants to be the best in the world, and America is the best path forward to get there. Let me know how you guys would feel if Kuroko had another season, and just what would you have wanted to happen if it did. Well, I thank you guys for watching the video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll be back in the next one. Peace.